Hello, friends, and welcome to Storytime. Today we're going to be reading the book Two Friends. This is a book about Susan B. Anthony and Frederick Douglass. It's written by Dean Robbins and illustrated by Qualls and Selina Alko. So this is the front cover. This is the back cover, and this is the spine. And the spine says, Two Friends. Okay, everyone, let's get started. Two Friends. This is the title page, Two Friends. Snow fell in Rochester, New York. A horse pulled a creaky buggy down Madison Street. Susan B. Anthony set out 2 saucers, 2 cups, and 2 slices of cake. Frederick Douglass arrived for tea. Susan lit 2 candles on the table. The friends sat by the fireplace in Susan's parlor. Frederick wore a gentleman's jacket, vest, and tie. Susan wore a kind of pants called bloomers. She liked them better than the heavy dresses women were supposed to wear. Those dresses made it hard to get things done. And Susan had many things to do. As a girl, Susan wanted to learn what boys learned, but teachers wouldn't let her. Girls didn't need to know about important subjects, people said. They should grow up to raise children, and that's all. Susan's mother couldn't vote, or own a house, or go to college. Few women could. Susan wanted something more. She read about rights in the United States, the right to live free, the right to vote. Some people had rights, while others had none. Why shouldn't she have them too? Susan taught herself to give speeches. Some people liked her ideas about rights for women, and others didn't. So some people liked the ideas, and this guy, he said, outrageous. He really didn't like the idea that women could have rights. You can see these are the bloomers, the pants that she wore under her dress to make it easier to move. The candles glowed in the parlor. Frederick sipped his tea. Susan asked him about his newspaper. He filled it with his own ideas about rights. So here the newspaper says, truth is of no color. Everyone is talking about my new issue, he said. And here it says, we are all brothers. Right is of no gender, is of no color. Frederick grew up as a slave in the South. Slaves had to do everything the master said, but Frederick wanted something more. He secretly learned to read and write. New ideas thrilled him. Frederick read about rights in the United States, the right to live free, the right to vote. Some people had rights, while others had none. Why shouldn't he have them too? Here it says, we the people. Frederick escaped from his master and headed north. He taught himself to give speeches. Some people liked his ideas about rights for African Americans, and others didn't. So maybe these people liked his ideas, and some of the people did not. Susan liked Frederick's ideas, and he liked hers. He moved to Rochester and got in touch with her. They promised to help each other, so one day, all people could have rights. So here's women who need rights, and here is African Americans who needs rights. And here are African American women who need rights from both sides, from being African American and from being women. The fire crackled, snow fell outside the window. Frederick and Susan ate their cake, and they talked about their plans. So many speeches to give, so many articles to write, so many minds to change. They would get right to work as soon as they finished their tea. So this book imagines what it was like when Frederick Douglass met Susan B. Anthony at her house to talk about ideas. The two became friends in Rochester, New York in the mid-1800s. At that time, slavery was legal in the United States, and so was discrimination against women. Anthony worked hard for women's rights, as did Douglass for African American rights. They made themselves into two of our greatest champions of freedom. Anthony and Douglass both challenged unfair laws. Douglass escaped from slavery and also sheltered other runaway slaves in his house as part of the Underground Railroad. And Anthony voted in the 1872 election, even though she knew the police would arrest her for it. The two of them bravely spoke out for each other's causes, making appearances together throughout their lives. They never stopped fighting, and they never doubted that victory would come. Failure is impossible, Susan said. Anthony and Douglass won their battles. The United States ended slavery in 1865 and gave women the right to vote in 1920. Today in Rochester, where they used to live, a statue shows the two friends having tea. So here's a picture of Susan B. Anthony, and here's a picture of Frederick Douglass. The end. So this book was called Two Friends. Thanks for coming to Storytime, friends, and I'll see you next time.